So like she said, my name is Jessa.m4v, and I'm a sophomore at the University of San Diego, and I am currently majoring in environmental studies with a minor in green science and peace and justice with the emphasis in development sustainability. And I basically want to travel the world and do field study as well as green policy advocacy. With Project Green Challenge, I discovered ways to become a more conscious student, to green up my own habits, as well as improve my community. And so let me tell you a little bit more about myself. My green alignment began with reading Fast Food Nation, and I was exposed to this world of corruption and cruelty, not just towards animals, but also towards people. And I couldn't understand living in America, a place of equality and power, and trying to be the best that we can be, that this was allowed to happen. And so I kept reading more and more about it. I dug deeper and deeper into this reality of the fast food industry and animal agriculture. And before you knew it, I learned about the environmental connections to it. And so then I read more and more about that. And before I knew it, I became a green activist. And so I became a vegetarian, but it only lasted for about 6 months, and then I became pescatarian. But then I became a flexitarian. But then I became a vegan, and so I was very fickle about my diet. A flexitarian. As my knowledge and information increased, I had to share it with my mom because I was really close to her. But they became more and more hostile with it, and they didn't want to accept the fact that their personal actions were having a negative impact on the world. And so family dinners became very awkward, especially with my sisters and my siblings, because I would be sitting there with my plate full of veggies, and everyone else would have meat and roast and whatever. And they would criticize me upon my beliefs, and they were convinced that climate change was a scientific scam, and like my efforts were completely pointless. But I knew that eventually I will get to them. And I haven't yet, but slowly but surely I will. In high school, I went to high school in East Texas, and I started our first Green Club. And we started a campus-wide recycling program that's still going on. And in the University of San Diego, I'm part of the Be Blue, Go Green team. And we work directly with the Department of Sustainability and hopes to transform USD to one of the most sustainable campuses in the nation by 2025. But we have very few events, and it's slow progress. So when I stumbled upon Project Green Challenge, I knew I had to get involved. I had to learn more ways to get our campus involved and create this motivation, or find this motivation in order to do so. So whenever anyone would ask me what was the 30-day experience or Project Green Challenge, I never felt I could accurately explain this because it not only presented the path towards sustainability and showed that the solutions are out there and that we have the choice right now to choose between conventional and consciousness, but it saturated my entire life. It was the first thing I checked in the morning. It was the last thing I did before going to bed. And in every and all opportunities, I found ways to rattle off the countless statistics and information I found. Anyone who would listen, I just had to share the information at the game. We discovered the truth. And that's our conference been seriously started. And we discovered the truth, ultimately realizing the importance and the necessity of the sustainable movement. We also learned solutions and gained resources to help us, to guide us and help us create smarter and wiser decisions, to help us make better things. And as Top 12, we proved our commitment and our dedication towards the sustainable movement and our desire to live consciously and not ignorant of our negative impact on the world, as well as shown our passion to advocate for sustainability. But most importantly, we've created and formed a nationwide support system as Top 12 and through Teens Turning Green. So, and for all of our future green endeavors and visions, we have each other. And I think that's a very powerful thing because I don't have the family support system in this, but now I have Teens Turning Green, and the Top 12 is my new family. And it's very wonderful to have. Oh gosh, I added a lot without pictures. So as simple as it may sound, the awareness and becoming of this sustainable or conscious solutions and conventional habits was probably the biggest impact it had on my life. PGC helped me realize if I really wanted to make a difference, I needed to show people that living completely sustainable was not only possible, but also attainable. I became a green enthusiast instead of a green convenient. I started being a strategic dishwasher to conserve more water. I literally plan out which dish I'm going to wash next, so I can put the water into a bigger dish and wash my. There you go. Something like that. This is the green tea. In addition, one thing that I learned is you need to act locally, but think globally, because that's how real change is going to happen. And I have envisioned integrating Team Staying Green into all Be Blue, Go Green's future events and campaigns and all the endless ideas I have gained from here. Currently, we're working on a campus energy experiment in order to show administration that just by being aware and having a competitive challenge in between residential halls that we can reduce our energy consumption. In addition, we are doing a green office certification in which we go and we're grading offices on their sustainability lifestyles or teaching habits in order to reward them for what they're doing well as showing how they can improve. All in all, I think PGC showed how we can get to the sustainable world. And the power of the sustainable movement is that it encompasses a plethora of different issues, social issues, economical issues, and health issues. One thing that's really stuck out is if we just transition our food industry into something that practices polyculture, doesn't plant genetically modified food, and does organic practicing, we can begin to serve real food to our children in school lunches. We can reduce obesity and diabetes and other health issues, not just amongst children, but adults. We can alleviate hunger and poverty by using our resources much more effectively. And we can potentially create more jobs by supplying our nation diet with several of small local farms rather than few industrial farms in our nation. And that really shows the power of this all. So I believe the sustainable world would be zero waste, toxic-free, animal cruelty-free, and carbon neutral. And by getting there, we need to vote with our dollars because we live in a global consumer economy, and what we buy shows what we support. And it's we need to continue to have faith in human ingenuity. It's amazing what we have done in the last 100 years, but the possibilities are ultimately endless of what we can do in the next 100 years. We need to be proactive in our change, not reactive. We need to show that we have given this opportunity and we're going to take advantage of it. We are going to use human ingenuity to tackle anything, including climate change, including all the scary statistics that we have heard. We are going to be able to change it. But most importantly, we need to remember the power of one, because it does start with us, and once we have it in us and we instill this value and this passion, people will see this and they'll gravitate towards us, and we can share it with others. One thing that I did this for Thanksgiving after Project Green Challenge is that I convinced my mom to make it to a conscious holiday. I was so excited. We were going to have organic free-range turkey and vegan dishes and organic turkey gravy, and I was going to make vegan pumpkin cinnamon rolls, and it was the most delicious thing ever. Recipes, let me know. But as we were shopping, my mom saw the price of organic turkey, and she went ballistic. She just went off the deep end and went crazy, and she said some really hurtful things, saying how much of a snob I was and how ungrateful I was for all that she has done with me. She couldn't understand that what I was doing, this conscious holiday, was for her. It was for my nephews and my nieces and my siblings. I was trying to save this planet so my nephews have a place to go and they have a world to live in, and also they're free of all these chemicals and toxins in their body. Instead of eating Oreos, they were actually eating vegetables. And though they may be unwelcoming to this conscious change, I'm confident in slowly making progress and planting seeds in their brain about their lifestyle. by pointing out little different things that they can do. Recently, they began composting at our own house, and this summer we started an organic farm in our backyard, but due to the heat wave, it did not work out. And so change will not come quickly, and things may not go as planned. But we can't be discouraged. Instead, we need to fight harder and show that we are here to stay and we are here to change the world. I understand the difficulty of not having an unsupportive family and reaching these difficulties and adversity, but now that we have the top 12 family, as I like to say, and teams turning green, we are capable of anything. So the last thing I would like to say is that I may not be the most sustainable gal you will meet, but I'm slowly improving. I'm evolving and growing and striving to become more sustainable. And with every new eco-habit and information that I learn, I am doing this change slowly. And though at times we may feel that our efforts are lost, but we must remember, even if it's to a minute degree, we are making a change. And if anyone's going to make a difference, why can't it be me? If anyone's going to change, why can't it us be in this room starting this change that we have? Thank you.